That's okay. Thank you, Jennifer, for inviting me. Thank you, Select Board, for indulging me. I'm going to try to speak very briefly. So my name is Eddie Sporn. I'm a resident of West Stockbridge, and I've been working as a volunteer for the past year with State Senator Adam Hines on a new railroad connection to New York City, rather than going through Connecticut, going through New York. And this connection will be a lot less expensive and will be implemented a lot faster. And I'm happy to say that today the state of Massachusetts issued their study, I have a little thing here, that recommends going ahead with a pilot of the train service beginning as early as next summer. The state is basically recommending a pilot, and it's really going to be up to the people of Berkshire County whether we can get the resources together to get this thing started as early as the summer of 2019. There's a lot of work that's involved, and one of the big questions and issues is going to be how to get people around Berkshire County who are coming up by train. But this offers the opportunity and potential for a huge amount of tourism dollars to come into Berkshire County, and also a whole new group of people to come to Berkshire County and visit the county, and hopefully a good number of these people will get to understand how fabulous this county is and what a great place it is to live and to raise their families and relocate here. I mean, that's how I ended up here, and that's how a lot of people ended up here. So we're really going after, at least initially, there was 1.7 million households in New York City alone who do not have cars. And unless they have somebody up here that they know, the only way of getting up here is by bus. And surveys have shown over and over again that bus travel is probably the least favorable, the least palpable type of travel, particularly for people who have the resources to go other ways. And so we're hoping that train travel will lure. The state did a projection, or actually Amtrak, they're saying that in order for this to be economically viable, there will be, they're saying at least 65 people per weekend will have to book a round trip from New York City to Pittsfield. I think that's easily achievable, particularly when you allow the trains to carry bicycles, which is something that's going to be discussed. There's a huge number of bicyclists in the metropolitan area of New York who would love to bike the beautiful roads and stay in the beautiful places that the Berkshires offers. So this is very, very exciting. It's been 1 year since I started this with Adam Hines, and we're at the point now where we have a plan. It's financially defensible. It goes to the legislature. The legislature has to approve this. The governor has to approve this. So we're going to be hoping that various select boards, elected officials are 100% behind this and put all their efforts into getting this thing approved so that we can move forward with a pilot in 2019. Can I make it in 5 minutes?
Where do you get on the train?
So the train right now, so this is, I tell people that this is phase one. This is, the way things work now, as everybody knows about constrained budgets, the state of Massachusetts does not have a limited amount of funds, and so they want to do things with a pilot basis, and that's what they did with the Cape Flyer, which is what this thing is modeled after. So version one of this will be to use all existing trains that go up between New York and Albany and extend it from Albany to Pittsfield. So the stations will be, Pittsfield will be the only station in Berkshire County initially, and then Albany, and then all the stations between Albany and New York City that Amtrak stops at. So Hudson and various other, Rhine Cliff, the other towns. That's just phase one, and we're hoping, and this is the vision of the people that I've been working with on this, is that this is the first step, and that once this becomes economically viable, then daily train service becomes the next step, and then additional stations, including one in West Stockbridge and one in Chatham, New York, also become viable options.
I hope one of the entrepreneurs in Great Barrington who owns a hotel will have a vehicle picking people up at the train stop and bringing them to their hotel.
Well, there's a whole issue about the last mile, which is what we're calling it the same way for data, which is how do you get people around Berkshire County, particularly people who come up without a vehicle. And we're going to be looking at many, many different options, including rental cars, zip cars, electric cars, bicycles, vans. So we have a number of different examples to call upon. Again, Cape Cod is one, although geographically we're very different than Cape Cod. But there are numerous examples in the East Coast of communities or areas that have come up with solutions for getting people around who don't have cars.
How much in phase one, do you know how much a round trip ticket or a one-way ticket?
It's going to be approximately what it's going to cost to go to Albany, which ranges depending on the time of day and the train, I think from $45 to $70 each way. So it's not going to be, you know, this is not your Metro North trip, but we're not aiming it initially, and I keep on emphasizing initially, at the Metro North commuters. These are weekend travelers to the Berkshires, and we're going to advertise the whole trip. Coming up the Hudson River is a magnificently beautiful trip, and so it's not only getting to the Berkshires, but how you get to the Berkshires up through a historic scenic byway, or historic scenic railway to the Berkshires. So there'll be a lot of marketing and a lot of ways to sort of interest people in not only the Berkshires, but the train travel up here.
A couple of things too on having a pilot is that it's an opportunity that we all really need to promote. You know, anyone to go and take the train, go take the train, because we definitely want to make the numbers show the demand here. And even if this train route doesn't meet the specific long-term needs for wherever you wanted the other train stop to go, this is the first step. So I'm really hoping that everybody this summer can get on the train and promote the train. And it's a really important first step to making sure that we have potentially an even expanded network of train service to the Berkshires.
Right. And Jennifer mentioned that this is one piece of, you know, we're interested in East-West Rail, you know, the train to Boston. So this is one part of a comprehensive transportation approach to Berkshire County that's sort of focused on realistic goals and realistic parameters of funding in terms of what can be done. And so I think we're off to a great start, and we're very, very excited about this. And you guys will be hearing more about this. I think Terry Cargill's at every meeting, and he's been writing about it extensively. Heather's written about it, so it's there'll be a lot of stuff written about this.
There's been tremendous support from Mass DOT and Senator Hines behind this, and really taking the ideas that were generated locally and really championing it. So it's really exciting.
We want some publicity. Maybe the selectmen need to take a field trip.
Well,
that would get us some.
Yankees game?
Okay, I'll go. But if all five of us, John, I'm sorry.
Approximately how long would it take to get from Pittsfield?
it's going to take approximately, right now, the preliminary estimate is 3 hours, 50 minutes, which is hopefully one of the great things about this route that they're looking at, particularly up the Hudson River, is that it's going to be upgraded, and it's been upgraded over the past few years. Right now, there's a maximum speed of 110 miles an hour. There's talk of, or there's money that's available and hopefully be implemented for speeds up to 125 miles an hour, which by European and Asian standards is not very fast, but by American standards it's doing pretty well. And also there are other parts of the Hudson line that speeds are lower for various reasons, and they'll be raised. So I think that within the next 5 years, let's say, a 3-hour train ride between Pittsfield and New York City is achievable. And then if there's a station in West Stockbridge that would service the southern Berkshire County, you know, it would be down to 2 hours and 50 minutes, 2 hours and 45 minutes, and that's pretty marketable, particularly now that you're talking about people coming back and forth and people in Berkshire County coming down to New York City. So the thing about this plan, which is great, is that it could be built upon. It's not like it's the first step, and it's not like it ends there. It really you can continue to build on this for faster and more frequent service. Okay. Thank you very much.